Hi friends, this is Mike. Welcome to the Michael W. Hull channel. And I would just like to say, if you enjoy this, and I invite you to watch it, listen repeatedly, share with your friends and colleagues, family members, whoever, and please subscribe. Today's lesson is specifically a study piece out of the preparatory level from the RCM guitar series. And some of you, and even some of my students, are preparing for the preparatory level for the Royal Conservatory exams. And they'll probably be remote, even in August. I know that many times they send a representative down to do the exam, down to where we are in Illinois, and all over the United States, actually. But there will likely be remote still in August. Well, anyway, this piece is a study piece by Fernando, and it's called Pour trouver les notes, Opus 60, number 1. And what that means is to find the notes. That's what it means. So it's en français. I speak English better. So let me play it first, and then we'll talk about it. Now this piece starts off with a forte dynamic marking, and it doesn't have anything beyond that. So you as a musician, it's important that you develop some kind of contrast. So you may want to take that first section, just simple forte, and then maybe mezzo forte on the repeat. The second section, I started off strongly again, and then I backed pretty far off to about mezzo piano. So you want to keep contrast in mind. It's an etude or a study piece, but it's still very much music, and it's not just an exercise. You don't have to memorize the etude section of the exam, just the repertoire. So the fingerings in this, interestingly enough, now a student remarked to me the other day that it bothered him that he was having to use the thumb on the third string, and I'll admit, even in doing it here, it's like, okay, that is kind of counterintuitive to a certain degree. I'm used to, I use my thumb as sort of a leverage point many times when I'm playing a rest stroke melody. But you had to keep the thumb pretty loose so you can bring it down, literally down, physically down, to play the third string. This repeated G with the thumb is more of a glue that holds the melody together. So it's a strong forte dynamic. So you want to place that thumb carefully and make sure you don't just, splat it or make it too prominent. So that gives the melody shape. So you're free to develop some contrast in dynamics, especially with the repeated sections like this. It's a great little piece. And again, this is what the etude section, and you do not have to memorize it. And the only other thing in this piece, you have to be careful with the chords, because you have repeated use of P, or thumb this time. And the editor wants you to use PIM, and then later IMA at the end. So that last line is more like a free stroke arpeggio there at measure 13. And then you have some free reign of how much you want to use the thumb there in that last line. I think it works very effectively to use the thumb until you get to that final measure, and then you can use the fingers, of course, for the chord. And shape it with enough of a slight retard there so you can get the last note sounding very nice, very rounded off, and then observe the rest. So I hope you enjoy this, and best of everything on your exams. See you next time.